Okay, good morning, everybody. Hope everybody's well. We've been talking about meaning, the lack of it, and how much of it is part of our world. How important it is for us to think about it, I think. Or else you really run the risk of spending a lot of your time doing something that has no value. I tell my kids, when you watch a game, don't get lost in the game. If you can't learn something after a game, you've lost it. What's the point? It's just a game. It's not real. I in no way mean that we should stop working or stop trying to achieve our goals or quit our jobs. No, that's not the way. That's not the Jewish way. For sure not. That's not how we see the world. I don't believe that. That's not the way of spirituality as we see it. We don't think that the way you achieve spirituality is by leaving anything. That's not how we see the world. We believe, or I believe we believe, to be more accurate, that the way you achieve spirituality is not by leaving the world, but by elevating the world. God wants, as the Lubavitcher Rebbe said, a dwelling in this world. He doesn't want you to leave law. He wants you to bring him into law. He doesn't want you to leave sports. If you overwhelm yourself in sports, then you're wasting your time. But he doesn't want you to leave it. He wants you to bring God into it. You don't leave your life. You bring God into your life. It's a totally different set of skills. It's a different part of your brain. You're not rejecting, you're elevating. Rejecting is to take it from the top and push away. 9/11 hit. I was in law school at the time. I watched it. I was in the city there when it happened. What happened post 9/11 in the business world is lots of people just quit because they rejected their life. They were dealing with this very thing that we spoke about yesterday. What's the meaning? What's the point? Why am I doing this for? That feeling, whether they can articulate it or they can't articulate, that's what's going on. 9/11 was a moment where you saw the end. Whenever there's a life cycle, life cycles bring inspiration. Either you see birth or connection or death. And in this life cycle, people look at it and go, wait, what's my life going to be worth? And at that moment, they take things that are not inherently meaningful and they reject them. That's what happens. It's yesterday's conversation. A person sees 9/11 and says, oh my gosh, life is so precious. They think about their life. They go into their meaning. They go back to their work. They connect the dots, and there's no inherent meaning in what they're doing, so they leave it. That's not our way. That's a hard decision, but that is the easier of the two decisions. Leaving something is to look at it from a distance and push it away. I'm leaving Goldman Sachs. I'm going to start a whatever. And by the way, there's a lot of good there. For those that left Goldman Sachs to start nonprofits and do good things, God bless you. You did good. I don't know. I don't know what someone should do in life. But our way, I don't believe, is to reject. The path, the way of spirituality is to do what you're doing, but what you do, when you do what you do, to focus your brain, to go into the meaning, to live in the meaning. There's a reason why we're given a commandment to tithe, to give charity, to take a day off a week, to have holidays, to get involved in kindness. There's a reason for these things. It's because God is conditioning us to be able to go into our daily lives and find meaning on a daily basis. Tithing your money is elevating your money because now you're making money in part to give it away. You're not giving away a certain dollar amount. You're giving a percentage, which means as you grow in your money, so does the charity that you give. So that every moment that you're growing wealth, you're growing charity. And when you speak to people that tithe, and some people give more, they give 20% away, and they do it religiously. Like, they do it not because they don't give a couple of dollars to charity. They take pride in it. Their daily life. I'm not saying they're perfect. I'm not saying that everyone's perfect. I'm saying, but you see someone that takes this seriously. They found a way to find some meaning in their daily activities, because they understand that it's going to enable them to take care of others. They understand the responsibility, if God gives them wealth, to share. I've been in rooms like this where COVID hits and everyone's firing everybody, and an individual who's blessed with wealth says, this is my moment where God put me in this world, and is writing out checks. I've been in rooms where people are giving away lots of money, and they don't feel like you have to pat them on the back. That's their role. That's their responsibility. That's what they feel they're here for. I'm no way justifying if they do this right or this wrong. I'm not getting into that. And I'm not saying that's the only thing, but it's a mechanism to look into your day and to find inherent meaning in that which I do. I am here for a purpose. Maybe the job that I'm doing is building a skill that I have that I can give to the world. Maybe doing my job right and taking pride in doing your job because someone's paying you money, and being honest and having integrity. Because when you get paid to do a job, you do your job. That's a value. When you come to work with the mentality of, my job is to do my job. I have to live. I make a paycheck. But I want to do it with honesty and integrity. That's value. That's now you're adding meaning to your work. You're not just giving your work to your boss. Your job, if I was doing a contract, and at the end of the day said to myself, I'm trying to provide, and I want to act with integrity. They're paying me money to do this. I'm doing this with integrity. I'm doing this with honesty. I'm doing this with all my heart, because that's my job. Maybe one day I'll have enough to leave, but right now this is what I'm doing. I'm building my muscles of integrity, and I'm learning. But really, the inherent meaning here is in the exchange of employment. I am keeping my end of the bargain. That's meaningful. It's inherent meaning. I'm doing something to make someone's life better. I believe in that person, and by me doing what I'm doing, I'm enhancing that person. That's meaningful. It's inherent meaning. It's spiritual meaning. It feels different. How do I know? Even though we've given meaning to that, where people are going, well, you're giving meaning to giving meaning. Good. I love it. Right? That's mental gymnastics. The answer is because it comes from a deeper source. That's how I know it. Because I'm looking at a source that I believe comes from, that's the value of having things that come beyond, that are timeless. But even if you don't have that, you can feel it. You can feel it. You don't need to have a proof why giving is more meaningful than accumulating. When we look at our lives and we start to deepen our eyes to find the meaning in everything that I'm doing, our life feels differently. That's when we start to live in the moment more. That's how we start to pull back. I hope I get the goal. Oh, I'm going to feel good at the goal. That's what we want goals for, because doing anything doesn't feel good. Because when you give meaning to something, it's a human fabricated meaning. It doesn't feel good, so you assume that the good feeling is coming at the end. Like today or yesterday, players assume that they're going to feel amazing after winning the Super Bowl. And they will have some level of accomplishment. And they will always have some level of adoration from the crowd. But deep down, many players after they win the Super Bowl, when they wake up 2, 3, 4 mornings later, they don't feel much different. Because if they did, they'd all retire. They wouldn't be hungry for the next Super Bowl. They're not hungry to get it. They're hungry to try to get it, right? In your brain, the dopamine doesn't happen in accomplishment. The dopamine comes in the anticipation of benefit, not the benefit, because it's mundane. But the minute I'm finding the meaning in things, the minute I'm searching myself deeper and deeper into everything that I'm doing has some level of meaning, the more I am happy with everything that I'm doing because there's meaning to it. I hand in a paper that says, I've done my job. You pay me money, and this week I delivered for you. And I didn't cheat. I didn't steal. I acted with integrity here. It's an exchange. I get a paycheck in the week. I go on, I spend my paycheck on the things that I think are important. I don't care that Blackstone or KK, I don't care what happens. I don't care if it's pencils down. Of course I wanted to win, but who cares? I grew. I worked hard. I probably grew intellectually, and I did the right thing. I live with my values. I win. Who cares about the result? The result's the cherry on top. Meaning, inherent meaning. You can look at a contract and give it no meaning, or give it the meaning that society gives it, or you can delve in and push oneself to look into everything I'm doing and do it for the right reasons. I'm doing it for the right reasons. I hope I win on the secular level for sure, but I'm here because of the values that are underneath it, that I'm going to get, and I'm going to grow, and I'm going to be better, and I'm going to enhance myself in the world. That's inherent meaning. And when I get into that space, now I found a way to put on X-ray vision to everything that I'm doing. Okay, it's getting late. We'll talk. Tomorrow, we'll continue. Have a great day. And with God's help, I cannot wait to see you again tomorrow. Have a great day.
Living on a lifeline, the world doesn't ever seem to change. Looking for the sunshine, but you're caught up in the rain. It's like your eyes are wide open, but you cannot see. You're watching life pass you by like 1, 2, 3. Walking in destruction, the winds of life blur your vision. All the devastation forever feels like you're on the run. It's time. No one else can set you free. You're locked inside, and only you have got the key.